Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother Mohan from the Great Millstone Camp here in Philadelphia, giving all praises. So like all praises due honestly, how Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and honors and salutation that's out there to the hopefully elect. So coming back to you with another video, this time on the UAPs. You know, this is September 11th, so the main story is the Edomite or white MLK Charlie Kirk. There's so much going on out there. It's hard to pick a topic. Basically you just got to do like an open forum or an impromptu or just a video about everything, man, because so much going on. But that's the biggest news right now. That's going to be news for quite a while. And we want to see what's going to unfold, especially, with the Edomites. They talking about a civil war brewing, or civil war is already here. I'm gonna go back into the scripture that I went into last video, and if you know, who controls both sides. The small hats, and they have like the so-called right, left, right, and different political parties. And they also call them houses, right? That are at variance with one another or divided against one another, just like the scriptures say. This is Matthew 12:26. It says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, the adversary casts out the adversary, and in both parties they consider themselves or one another each other's adversary." Okay, and this is Yahushua. He spoke about this a long time ago. They really don't believe in the Bible, man. If they did, they would literally go to the scriptures, and point out that this is all in the Bible. Especially with the racial tensions that are brewing. The Lord, the Lord spoke about it as well. Before it, it started. Before where it's at today. We are at the height of racial tensions, man. We at the spark of a race war and the spark of a civil war. Okay, everything is just happening at one time. And you can't wrap your head around it because there's so much going on. You can't keep up with what's going on in society and throughout different parts of the world. But we living in extremely exciting times. We're at the very end, man. Like the Lord said right here, the beginning of sorrows, man. Okay, and it's just gonna ramp up from there, man. It's gonna get more cruel, violent, and deadly, man. More havoc and calamities are going to increase, man. We only go up from here. It's only going to get worse. And people, they know it. They see it. And guess what? All of these things are in the Bible. It's like they want to pray to God, believe in God, this God, that, be hypocrites. But all these things are in the scriptures, man. Okay, clearly it's like the prophecies are just coming to life, man. They're speaking, they're walking. The scriptures are walking throughout the earth, man. You literally cannot deny this, man, at all. You literally, I don't give a damn if you believe in Satan. Guess what? Satan works for the Most High, man. All right. But you people gonna find out real soon. You know, Satan, he does the bidding for the Heavenly Father. He has not rebelled against the Heavenly Father, man. You know, and all of this agenda, this New World Order agenda, you know, Esau conjuring up demons, you know, and asking for advice. They only giving them the advice to forward prophecy, okay? World War III that they had, you know, planned for centuries, it's already in the Bible, okay? You know, you conjure up these fucking spirits and shit, these familiar spirits, these demons. Guess what? They just telling you what's in the Bible, okay? Like this, the Lord said, the deceive and the deceiver are His, man. And in the prophets, we have the ultimate power. We have the name. We have the truth, man, to know these things and to tell you about them. You know, everything that's happening is written in the scriptures, whether you believe it or not. Okay, like this, for instance, this is happening right now. Okay, and it's about to get worse. You know, Jake, they don't know. They're not preparing or prepared. Esau, on the other hand, he's literally, if you go online on these social media, even if you go on these forums of hate, Esau is getting ready to strike, man. Okay? He's at a boiling point. And you're seeing what Trump is doing. The Department of Defense was renamed the Department of War, man. That's signs of the times that we're in. We're not in a time of peace. We're in a time of war. We've been in that time of war, but they're just making it more evident. Okay? They're just making it more evident, man. You know? So it says in Matthew, for nation shall rise against nation. That's ethnicity against an ethnicity. Or for ethnicity or ethnic group or nation, like it says, shall rise against nation. Okay? And we all know Esau is going to initiate that, man. And here they're going to use the rhetoric of or what, you know, so-called Jake is doing to Esau to justify, you know, but their violence against Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, but to justify their racism, but they never talk about what they do. You know what I'm saying? But with this Charlie Kirk situation, it's another conflict. It's a civil war, okay? The right versus the left, man. The left versus the right, okay? Like, it's so much going on, man. Here you got a race war brewing and a civil war brewing at the same damn time, man. Okay? And, man, it's crazy, man. It is insane. You know? But we just gotta see what unfolds, man. As the days progress. And it says in kingdom against kingdom. Okay? Like I said in a previous video, you can put Jacob versus Esau. Okay? Because Esau is going to have to go against the Lord when he comes back. You know, and that's the topic, you know, about, you know, the so-called chariot, well, the so-called UFOs or UAPs, which are really the angels, man. Okay? They just waiting for the green light, man. For when, like, you had that chariot. Let me see, that interstellar. I probably spelled this all wrong. Let me see if this comes up. Yep. Alright. I ain't gonna go into all these articles, but it's not going to be pretend. All right, so I got that pulled up. Let me go back over here. You know, in kingdom against kingdom, we know Russia, China, America, all these different nations are going to, you know, enter into a third world war. You know, primarily against America because of the small hats. That's going to lead them to World War III. You know, over there in the Middle East. Okay, and like I said again, like or before, this is also talking about Jacob versus Esau, man. You know, Esau's kingdom versus Yahweh Shah's kingdom, because like wait. Yahweh Shah said that. Or one of the angels. This is Revelation 19 and 11. It says the coming of Yahweh Shah, or Hamashiach, or they have here in English Christ. It says, and I saw heaven open, behold, a white horse. Okay, that's a chariot. Okay, a spaceship. All right. Let me go on to this article. It says, alien spaceship heading towards Earth glows like a car turning on its headlights. Okay, and this they call this a comet, and it could possibly be a chariot, a huge chariot. Let me see what the wiki says. And not saying this is the Lord, but or a chariot. It's just something that they, you know, put out there, you know, and they you know, suggested it could be a chariot. It's like I'm over here reading this. Let me see, can I find somewhere it says it might be a UAP? God damn, all this information on this? Okay. Here we go. It could be a chariot, man. This look crazy. Look at that right here. This is moving too. But let's, you know, read down here. It says, on July 16th, 2025, astrophysicist Avi Loeb, of course, of course, ding, 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 we got him, boys. An Israeli and American theoretical physicist who works on astrophysics and cosmology. All right, that's all we need to know right there. And other researchers of the Initiative for Interstellar Studies published a paper on R14 or XIV, an open access repository of electronic preprints and postprints approved for posting after moderation but not peer reviewed. Um, Speculating that 3i Atlas. You see, you gotta look up words, man. Too. You gotta look up words, man. Because you already know what this goes back to. Atlas, and because everything is based upon Greco-Roman or Latin. It says Atlas, 1580s in Greek mythology, a member of the older family of gods, later regarded as a Titan, son of Iapetus and Clymene, in either case supported to uphold the pillars of earth, heaven or earth, which according to one version was his punishment for being war leader of the Titans in their battle with the Olympian gods. Originally the name of the Arcadian mountain god, the name was transferred to the mountain chain in western Africa. The Greek name traditionally is interpreted as the bearer of the heavens, to bear, to support. But Beeks compare Barber, Adwar mountain, and finds it plausible that the Greek name is a folk etymological reshaping of this. Mount Atlas in Mauritania was important in Greek cosmology as a support of the heavens. Okay, so it goes back to Greek mythology, man. Okay. Esau is basically going back to his roots. The Greco-Roman Empire. Which all that Greek mythology, it was based on Jake. And then it, stems from, the Egyptian Empire, which it's the same as America today, man. Okay. America is just an amalgamation of all the empires that rule the earth, man, from the different nations or ethnic groups, and they follow the same laws and customs, and religions of past kingdoms that stood before. And they said, speculating that Atlas could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft because they believe the object had anomalous characteristics. Anomalous is deviating from what is standard, normal, or expected. Okay. And just like how we probably gonna get into an article where with the chariots, they do whatever the hell they want to do. Okay, they don't have no propulsion. You can't see any signs of anything that's related to this world's technology because it's out of this world. Okay, this is extraterrestrial technology from the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, and it says, such as having an apparently large size, lack of identifiable chemicals, and an apparently improbable trajectory aligned with they have here the solar system's ecliptic plane. Other astronomers, including Chris Lantot, immediately criticized Loeb's speculation. The news website Live Science reported that the overwhelming consensus is that it is a comet, with researchers disappointed with the new paper and pointed out that it distracts from the work of other scientists. Several astrophysicists, including Scott Manley and David Kemping, have pointed out flaws in Loeb's statistical analysis of 3i Atlas trajectory. It says Daryl Siegelman, who first led the first published study on Atlas, stated that there have been numerous telescopic observation of Atlas demonstrating that it's displaying classical signals of cometary activity. Sigmund further elaborated that the chemicals in Atlas may not be detectable yet since the object was still far away from the sun. It says on July 30th to August 1st, the Swift Observatory found tentative evidence, tentative, not certain or fixed provisional, for water vapor in OH, cyanide gas, CN, and atomic nickel vapor were detected by the VLT on August 14, 2025 and July 20th, 2025 respectively. These substances are commonly found in comets. It says Loeb has previously suggested that Maomai and other interstellar objects, including the reputedly interstellar meteor Xenios, could be extraterrestrial spacecraft for which he was also criticized by many researchers. Which the small hat knows what's out there, man. Okay, he knows, man. But these people are denying him. Not saying this Atlas is a chariot or whatever, but he's putting it out there. Okay, that it could be a extraterrestrial spacecraft, which we know they out there. Okay, the Lord has his celestial vehicles, man, and it's all throughout the scriptures, man. And these damn devils know everything, man. And he said, while Loeb has written in his blog that the most likely outcome would be that Atlas is a completely natural interstellar object, probably a comet, he defended his hypothesis as an interesting exercise in its own right and is fun to explore irrespective of its likely validity. Okay, so he just put it out there. But guess what? The chariots exist, man. Okay, and the Lord, he's eventually going to be on his way, man. Okay, and he's going to make haste. He's going to make haste, man. Okay, and like you think what the white man has done on the earth, with all his wickedness and atrocities he committed, with Christopher Cologne, he's going to make him look like a goddamn Teletubby. He's going to make him look like Barney, okay? When the Lord comes back, man, it's a wrap, man. We going to have to be saved, because when the Lord, he comes back and his angels, they going to be ripping this place apart, man. And he's the ultimate judgment. He's the Grim Reaper, man. Just like in that video game series, Mass Effect. It was this big chariot, this big ass chariot. That was basically it was bringing the destruction of the universe, and the chariot was called a Reaper, okay, and it was many of them in the video game series, and it was damn near indestructible. But when the Lord comes back, he's going to be totally indestructible. Just like in the clip we're going to show, man, how they fired like a drone missile called a HellFire missile at a chariot, and it bounced right off of it, and it just kept on flying, man. I think it's 14. Mm. The reapers. Yep. The angels. Yep. There you go again. The cloud. And I look, which you got to go back to. Let me put this over here. The reapers. Yep. The angels, man. Now let me Mass Effect. The reapers, man. The reapers are a fiction. Hey, they ain't gonna be fictional no more. A fictional fleet of sentient starships that serve as the main antagonists of the Mass Effect trilogy. And yeah, they're an antagonist of Esau's kingdom, man. Okay. I'm trying to get this ship. Like, they not even trying to show me that. Hold on. But they get this from the Bible, man. But this, if you played it, it's a badass game series, man. All right. You see the images. All right, here you go, right here. This is their rendition of a chariot, man. Okay. In the video game Mass Effect. And they was known as the Reapers, man. It was unstoppable. And in the Bible, it's just another word for Yahweh Shah and the angels, man. But yeah, let me go back over here. Okay, it says, and I looked and behold a white cloud. Upon the cloud, one sat like unto the Son of Man. Okay, so this is Yahweh Shah in the chariot, and this is going to be the biggest chariot. Let me see something. Brilliant, a bright. Okay, like the scriptures say. Brightness. That's 2 Thessalonians. Yep. It's Matthew 24 and 29. Yeah, why it says a white cloud? Because it's going to be a glorious, it's a vehicle that the Lord is coming in. Light, brilliant, from whiteness, dazzling. Okay? It says, of the garments of angels and of those exalted to the splendor of the heavenly state. Shiny, yeah, innocence of white garments, sign of innocence and purity of the soul. Shining or white garments worn on festive or state occasions. See, they got Revelation 14. You got 14. Sorry. So yeah. Oh yeah. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 8. Hold on. Yeah. And I'm trying not to go to this because this is a lot to break down, man. I'm gonna go to it anyway. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, which those are the Edomites. Okay, which even today, man, is still a mystery because the majority of the people, they don't know, man. They still worship chariot. You know, not realizing those are the wicked that the Most High set up to play that part, man. Or Satan, okay, that old serpent, the great dragon. That's the mystery of iniquity, man. The Edomites. Just like it said, when the Greeks rose into power, that's when evil started spreading throughout the earth. You know, because he's a cancer, he's a disease, he's a plight to mankind. And it says, only he, which is the Most High, who now letteth, will let. Like the scriptures say, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. The Most High created everything, okay, including the wicked for the day of evil, man. He allowed this devil to do what a devil would do, which is destroy the earth, man. Okay? Like the scriptures say, the violent take it by force, man. But yet you want to talk about what a nigga did to you when you have done nothing but commit mass atrocities and mayhem and massacres and around the earth, man. Throughout your entire history, you have a bloody history. And you want to fucking compare that to what Jake is doing to you now? Are you fucking serious, man? That's asinine, man. Like, come on, man. That's fucking crazy, man. You think that's worse than what the fuck your people was doing in Gaza? Are you serious? Jake don't have that capability, man. They don't have no power like that. They don't have no weaponry like that, man. They drop bombs on people. You drop bombs on us. You know, then you get mad when something happens to you. You play victim. Like they got this. Let me pull it up. All right, I found it. So they posted this.
Right to violence.
Which I don't justify that. This is a fucking madman. Okay, that they let loose 12 to 14 times. Okay, then you find out the judges or the one particular judge was a black woman that released him to the public, man. And that he was involuntary, put in a damn the crazy house or the psychiatric ward because the dude was bugged out. Okay? And one of his statements that he made, he said, which is, could be true. He said the government put materials in his body, and that's what made him unalive this woman here. Which I said before, she could have been a Jake, But they look at the flesh to identify one's, nationality or identity. And they this whole thing, they building up to brew those race riots, those race wars, man. But they put this clip up here with this woman, which she was right. Like, what the fuck? But when something happens to them, they want to play victim. When you forgot what you did, you haven't even paid for slavery. Okay, like we are under a spell to really believe that this shit is normal. We are in a satanic system Well, people believe they're Americans, man. Like this system is just, it's appalling, man. It's like, it's upside down. We in the Matrix, you know. Those people that's been oppressed, they haven't rebelled. Jake has not rebelled against their oppressors, man. Okay, they have not rebelled against their oppressors, man. We're to this day in captivity. Okay, to this day we're still being oppressed, man. But then you have the rhetoric, or the talking points that, oh, you're not oppressed. We ain't free, motherfucker. Like, if you paying taxes, or you know what I'm saying, you're not free. You're paying bills and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying. It's too much to destroy that argument, saying we're not oppressed, man. You know. They have laws in place to make us slaves to the system. Like, you in debt. Like, come on, man. It's just too much, man. But the 2/3 of Jake, they in a forgive and forget spirit, man. You know. But we are in hell, man. In hell. But I'm gonna play this clip and show you what she said. But this is going to be on the Lord's time, man. Okay? The Lord is going to free us from captivity, man. Let me get this real quick. See, again, that's why I ain't want to go into that. 2 Thessalonians. This is, yeah, man, fuck. I'm going to bring this one out. Isaiah 14:21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children. And again, they're in power. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they can spread the misinformation that you're crazy if you rebel, or if something happens to them, you're wrong, or it isn't justified. The scriptures say otherwise, but like I said before, like, it's on the Lord's time, man. Us as prophets, man, our job is to teach. Okay? Said at the 38-minute mark. We ain't out there to cause mayhem and confusion and havoc and violence, especially violence. We only out there to teach the word, man. To speak with our voice. To cry out loud, spare not, man. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. It ain't say lift up a gun. Okay, we ain't out there on that type of time, because that's Esau's type of time, man. Okay, this is Ezekiel 35, verse 5. I'm gonna go to verse 4. This is talking about Mount Seir, which is the Edomites, which are the Caucasians today. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Okay, so you shed our blood by the force of the sword, man. Okay, and then look what type of time Trump is on against Jake, man. Here you're kidnapping them, you're taking them away from their families, from their jobs, their livelihood. You're invading their neighborhood. I mean, come on, man. Like, you're the oppressor. You're the terrorizer. That's your MO, man. That's who you are. And then your side is justified. You see what I'm saying? What you're doing is justified. The violence that you done to Jacob, in your eyes, is justified. But when something happens to you, you play victim. But at least you know what time we're in, man. But like it says nation shall rise against nation. Okay, you want to rise up against Jake, man, because it's prophesied, man. And again, look, you gotta look at all the racial tensions that's brewing up, man, and look at the comments that these Edomites are making on social media, man. They're ready for war, man. They ready to strike. Jake I don't know what the hell Jake doing. You know, their enemies are preparing. Jake, on the other hand, I don't know. They in La La Land, man. They're worrying about the flesh, man. The lust of life, man. Not realizing their enemies are preparing to strike. These Edomites, they look at you different, man. They hate you with even in a more intense hatred, man. And it's being put on display, man. Okay, even when you walk around, man, these Edomites, they look at you different. You see the horns coming out, man. I can attest my damn self, man. I'm around these Edomites, walking around these Edomites. They looking at me crazy. Even goddamn Moab. You know, I walked into the store just to get a damn drink. This damn Moabite was just grilling the hell out of me. You know, it wasn't like a welcoming in look. You know, he didn't even say, like, I walked past, like, he didn't even say nothing. I'm just like, look, the hell are you looking at me like that for, man? Like, these heathens, they have a problem with Jake, man. And it's part of prophecy, man. It says nation shall rise against nation, man. And the most undesirable nation are the children of Israel. They hate us. And it goes back to our blessing. Who we are as a people, man. The Most High put us above all the races of people on the earth, man. You know? And because we don't have that power, it nullifies it. And we're not in our right minds, it nullifies it, man. Because we're not in power, man. We don't have no power, man. They have the power. You know, then you got these stupid niggas, these YNs that are speaking against the government. Like they going to do something against Esau's military. They ain't gonna do nothing but be destroyed, man. And I heard a lot of these people that was on social media talking reckless, they got approached. You know, a lot of people that was talking reckless on social media, you know, they recanted their statements. Like, of course, like, you literally threatening the president of the United States and the government. Like, what the fuck do you expect? You gonna be labeled a damn teist, man. You gonna be labeled a gang member. And his last words of Charlie Kirk was gang violence. And it's so funny. It's this duo on Kill Tony. I forgot his damn name. I can't believe I forgot his damn name. Damn, it's two of them, but their slogan was gang violence. You know, it's just so funny. You know, everything just comes full circle. You know. Like, you know, and you know, it was slick when Charlie Kirk was asked that question about the mass shootings, and he said something slick like, "What do you mean, with or without gang violence?" Because he was talking about Jake. When they talk about gang violence, they talking about Jake, man, and that's when he was professionally hit. Okay, that was a professional hit, man. You know, not to change topics, but that was a professional, man. That was an elite sharpshooter. Okay. Like, come on, man. Like, two suspects, they had to let go. This was a professional, man. This was on some CIA, all the different agencies. Okay, this is like a merc. Okay. This is a professional, man. All right. This isn't like they gonna tell you it was a liberal and all that other shit. This was a goddamn professional, man. All right. If you seen the video, where that shot was placed, man, come on now. That was a professional. That was an elite sharpshooter to the highest degree. So whatever patsy they gonna set up, and if he don't look like that shot look, you already know what's going on, man. But that was a professional hit, man. That was literally a hitman did that. You know, that was the white MLK, man. Charlie Kirk, I'm referring to. So we gonna see what's gonna happen in the next couple of days, man. How intense it's gonna get. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of the calamity, and the time that the calamity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, therefore I live, saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. You see? You're cursed. You're cursed, man. And again, not like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's like they act like something, like some crazy calamity has happened unto them. You know, they put up the stats and they show the videos of Jake, you know, beating up Esau or whatever, or, you know, Jake, you know, unaliving Edomites and shit. That ain't nothing compared to what you have done to our nation, dog. You can't even compare that. You can't even put that on a scale and compare it to what you've done to us and what you continue to do to us. Like, no comparison. You poisoned us. To this day, even your own kind, man. You have destroyed the earth, man. But of course, you sit as a king because you're on the throne. The Lord gave you the power, man. He gave you the bright and morning star, man, the Lucifer. Okay? And it says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Okay? So you're cursed, man. You must have forgot. And that ultimate curse is going to be how your kingdom is obliterated. Okay? By those missiles, man. By those intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. Okay? With nuclear capability. And again, Jake don't have that power, man. The other nations has that power. So let me see. NET. Therefore, as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will subject you to bloodshed, and bloodshed shall pursue you. Okay? And this ain't even talking about now. Ain't really talking about now, but hey, the curse is upon you. The curse is upon you, man. Oh my God. God damn. God damn. It says NLT, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, as is evident, he called himself the Department of War. Okay? Like, again, go into your sordid history, man. Okay? You have shed the amount of blood you shed, man. You cannot compare it, man, to the blood that supposed Jake shed of yours. All right? You know, Jake is not a threat to you at all, and not even in the slightest. Okay? Wait, what's that quote? Around blacks don't relax. What about you, man? we shouldn't relax around you. I found out that Dylan Roof, the church shooter, that he was in basically he was basically given permission. And guess what? When he got that permission, he started slaughtering folks, man. If Jake did that, get the fuck out of here, man. If Dylan Roof was a different complexion, okay, he would be the worst person in human history. Just like the Buffalo shooter, man. That was another hit job. He went in the supermarket and started obliterating Jake, man. That it was despicable, man. That shit was gruesome. Okay? But if that was a Jake, he would be the man, please, man. He would be the worst thing in human history if those were Edomites. And that was a Jake, man. Come on now. The narrative ain't narrating. It's not the fucking same, man. When Jake do something, it is the worst thing imaginable. Like they haven't done that to us. You know? And then that was a super bugged out Negro that the system is responsible for. That was the system. Okay, and like I was mentioning before, it's a video where he was giving a statement and he said he had government materials in his body. Like something made him do that. And it could be plausible, man. They had the camera set up. And it's like the woman she got on the train, out of all fucking places, that's what she said. You gotta look at everything. You gotta be circumspect, man. Shit, if I wouldn't have sat there. I would have sat somewhere completely different where I'm, where I can see everything. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't sit in front of somebody, especially if they looking like that. You gotta be aware of your goddamn surroundings, man. But it says, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Ooh, your time has come. That's it, man. Your time has come. Like Paul Craig Roberts, he always would say, the chickens are coming home to roost. Okay, let me see if he's still alive. That's an old Edomite. Yeah, 86 years old, man. God damn. How the law was lost. I might have to read that. Is he still posting? Okay, Lou Rockwell. Where's his website? Economist. Alright, here we go. I don't know if he's still writing, but that's crazy if he's still writing, man. At his age. I'm gonna read that. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to this because it's gonna be a Yeah, so the chickens are coming home to roost, man. All right. It says your time has come, man. All right. And again, that bugged out Negro did ain't shit, nigga. That's not even part of the. That was a bugged out Negro. Again, be aware of your goddamn surroundings, man. Okay. Just like that quote I mentioned, man. Around blacks don't relax. So I follow the same thing, man. Wherever two or three are gathered, don't or something like that. Don't go. You don't be around niggas, man. All right. Of course you gotta, man. Please, man. These niggas ain't shit. The 2/3 ain't shit, especially what they call the YNs, man. And then again, that situation, Esau's hatred for Jake has increased dramatically. Increased, like Young Thug said, watch out, cause you don't know what the fuck about to happen, man. These Edomites, distaste for or disdain for Jake has increased to an all-time high. Okay, then they said in L.A. they can discriminate against you and lock you up. Okay, it's open season for Jake, man. Jake don't realize it. It's open season. All right, especially for you Negroes, man. You Negroes up online talking about what they doing to basically the so-called Mexicans don't affect you. You out your fucking mind, man. You see what's happening. I mean, if you're watching, you see what's happening. Esau is loading up, man, and he about to start dumping on Jake. Okay, it's gonna be a bloodbath on both sides, man. You know, but obviously Esau gonna rise up first, man, against Jake. So, hey, it's your turn, man. Let me read that again. That was powerful. It says your turn has come, or your time has come, man. That was an NLT. Okay, that was an NLT. It says, for this cause by my life, says the Lord, because you have been sinning through blood, blood will come after you. Okay? So it's retribution, man, that's coming. It says, Isaiah chapter 14:2. It says, and the people shall take them. Okay? This is then, the kingdom of heaven. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. It's talking about the heathen. Okay, notably the so-called white man. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay? I mean, it's plain as day, man. And this thing talking about the goddamn small hats, because they the ones oppressing. Okay? They the ones destroying nations of people. And corrupting the earth. And it said, and it shall come to pass in that day, Savior, that day the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage, hardcore slavery, wherein thou was made to serve, man. That's the kingdom of heaven, man. This says the Lord, man. That's who we waiting on. And we waiting for his son to crack the skies open, man. The Lord is an Israelite. He's a so-called black man. And they know that. The angels are black men. Okay? But yeah, it says that we were captives, okay, which we still are to this day. And guess what? It's going to come a time where they're going to be our captives. and they're going to be turned into servants and handmaids, okay, aka slaves. And it says we shall rule over our oppressors. Radah, have dominion, okay? Have dominion, dominate, tread down, subjugate, to scrap. Okay, that Jake said it today, scrap. It says bring under dominion or control, especially by conquest. Okay, that's when the Lord comes back, man. It says tread, trample. Okay? Come on, man. It's all in the scriptures, man. Let me see. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 3. This is again when after the Lord comes back, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. Okay? Tread, who's the wicked? Edomites. Okay? Psalms 58, the last verse. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, even the Lord said he's going to trample Edom. Okay, Isaiah 63. This is Revelation 2:25. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Okay, power or dominion over the nations, man. That's prophecy. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, a royal scepter, man, a holy royal scepter. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. Okay? And I will give him the morning star. Okay, we're going to be in that power seat. Okay, we're going to become the new Luciferians, man. Okay? Esau, he's in darkness, man. There's nothing light about him or bright about him, man. He's a damn demon. This is Daniel 7. I completely changed the whole topic, but yeah. Daniel 7:18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Okay? They don't have the word take here. Gabal, let me see. To receive. Take. Okay, it's going to be taken by force. The Lord, we're going to have that spiritual power, man. All right, we ain't going to, man, please, man. We're going to be invulnerable, bro. You see the movie, not the movie, but the TV show Invincible. Then what the hell they call them? Vitramites, man. What's his dude name? What's the dad name? Come on now. Alright, come on, dog. They like the main damn character, man. Oh, okay. Omni-Man, that's what I'm trying to find out. Omni-Man. Okay, all man. Okay, just like Superman, Kal-El, all power. Kal-Allah. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have Omni Man power, man, on a whole different level, man. We're gonna be invincible, man. I'm gonna go to verse 27. It says, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High," man, the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Okay, everlasting, man, is never going to end. And all dominions or previous dominions or kingdoms or heathen or nation shall serve and obey him. Okay? Pala. To serve, worship, revere, minister for, pay reverence to. Wait, what's that? It's Isaiah. All right. Okay. Isaiah 16:12, "For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted." You're gonna be punished, man, if you don't serve the nation of Israel, man, in our power, man. Yahweh Shah, you gonna perish. Just like if you don't serve, you're punished in this kingdom. If you don't follow the rules, okay, it's gonna be the same thing, man, in the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, I'm over here going into retribution. Jeremiah 30:16, it says, "Therefore all they that devoured thee shall be devoured." Okay? "And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity or slavery, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey." See this word spoil. Booty, mar, plunder. NLT, "But all who devour you will be devoured, and all your enemies will be sent into exile. All who plunder you will be plundered, and all who attack you will be attacked." This all it is retribution. But Esau controls the narrative, man. Okay? And they have the power. Alright, so let me see. Alright, let me go back here. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Okay? The Lord is going to be in the brightness of his coming. He's going to come in glory, power, and great glory, man. Brightness is what? Appearing. Okay? Yep, it says that in the Bible too, or in the scriptures. It says manifestation, i.e., the advent of Yahweh Shah. or the arrival, advent, or arrival of a notable person, thing, or the event. The arrival, man, the brightness, the glorious manifestation. Okay, that's how the Lord is coming, man. He's coming in glory, man, at His appearing. Yep. It says, looking, this is Titus 2:13, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of our great power and of our Savior Yahushua Mashiach. All right, what word was that? Appearing for that was the word for brightness and appearing. Okay, glorious manifestation. It says for the word, that's for the word coming. It's the word appearing. Yep, it's the same word. Okay. Yeah, the same word for brightness. Yep. And it's the word for coming. The brightness of His coming. Parousia. Parousia. His presence, the coming, arrival, advent, the arrival of a notable person, thing, or event, the future visible return from heaven of Yahushua. Okay? The visible, like the scriptures say, all eyes shall see Him. Revelation 1:7, behold, He cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see Him, and they also which pierced Him, and all kindreds of the earth shall well because of Him. Okay? That's the Lord, man. He cometh with clouds. Okay? And it says to raise the dead, hold the last judgment, and set up formally and gloriously the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And it says specifically down here of Christ to punish Jerusalem, or finally the wicked, the Edomites, the Isaiah 63. Okay, which again that goes into the appearance of Yahushua, man. It says God's vengeance on the nations, and He's going to use His Son. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in His apparel. Okay? You see these words, glorious in His apparel, man. It ain't referring to actual clothes, man. It's the word for glorious, hadar, ordained, glorified, be high, adorned, to be honored, glorious. And this is the word for apparel, clothing, garment, which you know is talking about the chariots, man. La bawash, la bawash, la bawash, la bawash, la bash. Okay, there we go. Traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness mighty to save. Wherefore art thou rid in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winepress. Okay, it says, I have tread in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I would tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. This is talking about the nations. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. Okay. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. The Edomites. Okay. I'll write that scripture down. Yeah, because that goes into Esau's pride, man. He doesn't believe that he's going to be taken out of power, man, because of his military. The power he possesses through his military. That's how he was able to take peace from the earth in Revelation 6. But yeah, this is referring to the Lord's vengeance on the other nations, man. And he's going to come back in a chariot. Okay, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Okay, and you look at the word cloud, is Nephilim. Come on, man. I can't. I'm just do it this way. Okay. Nephilim. It says, what? Use of the cloud which led the Israelites in the wilderness. Okay, that was a chariot. A so-called UFO. It says, of the cloud, this is Revelation 14, which we was reading earlier, of the cloud, in which Yahweh said to have gone before the Israelites in their march through the wilderness, and which Paul represents as spread over them. They got Psalms 104, see what that say. You know, they got Corinthians 10:1. Let me see what this say. All right, come on, you ain't got the King James Version. Nice. Psalms 104. Wait a minute, what the hell? Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I just found something. Yeah, just go to 35. What the hell? And NIV. Hold on, what the hell? That's... I don't think this is the... Hold on. Yeah, because it's definitely not. It's probably a different book. Yeah, it's a different, whole different book. Sing praises to his name and his release was one of his works. But this one a good one too. Psalms 104:3. Who lay of the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Okay. Rakawab, Rakab, chariot, a vehicle. A vehicle, that's the point. It's a vehicle as written on. Okay, what the. I think this is. I forget what Psalms this is. Well, it says, Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them lay upon them. He spread a cloud for their protection, and fire to give them light in the night. All right, let me see something, because cloud. Let me go to Psalms. Whoa. Okay, so that's Psalms 105. But yeah, let me read Psalm 78. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. It was a chariot. Okay, Psalms 105:39. He spread a cloud for a covering. Yeah, was that was the what they showed you in that Jordan Peele movie. I forgot what the hell was that shit called. Damn, I can't even. Get Nope. Nope. Yeah, in that movie, Nope. Yeah, yup. You see the cloud? A chariot. It was enclosed in a cloud, but it was this chariot. You see this? Look at this. This is another depiction. It looked like a flying saucer. When you go into a movie, and this movie has so much symbolism in it. They kept hinting at who they kept calling him Jesus Christ, and then he was riding on a horse. You know, is this? Look, I never seeing these images. Look at that, getting beamed up into a cloud. Okay, and the cloud received them out of his sight. Come on, they get this from the scriptures, man. Okay, but this would have looked like in a movie. This is insane, man. And then it looks like a garment. Okay, they know what they doing, man. They know what they doing, man. But they not going to tell you they got this from the scriptures, man. This that is glorious in his apparel and is white. Is white for a reason, man. And like the scriptures say, he spread a cloud for a covering and fire to give light in the night. Okay, and that cloud looks like a covering, or a garment or apparel. Let me see his word for covering. Masak, a rag, screen, a covering. Man, dude. It's this is for appearing, I believe. What is this? Yeah, Glorious Appearing 2015. Down here it says it says 1 Timothy 1:6-10. It says, but also illustrates return from heaven to earth, to earth hereafter to occur. Is it more? Yeah, so as you referring to the glorious appearance of Yahweh Shah, I might watch the movie again, the movie Note, because that's deep, man. This is deep. See how it looks like a garment or a covering. It's supposed to be a vehicle. Trying to find Matthews 24. Yep. Matthews 24:30, and it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, in the sky, or out of space, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall, which is Revelation 1:7, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Okay, and those are the so-called UFOs, man. With power and great glory. Dynamis. Strength, power, ability. And great glory. Splendor. Majesty. Magnificence. Excellence. Preeminence. Dignity. Grace. It says, a thing belonging to the Most High, a kingly majesty which belongs to him as supreme ruler, majesty in the sense of the absolute perfection of the deity, a thing belonging to Hamashiach. It says the kingly majesty of the Messiah, the absolutely perfect inward or personal excellency of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, the majesty. And so this is powerful, man. Doxa. Let me get Revelation 14. About the reapers. Revelation 14 and 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, which a chariot, a spaceship. And upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having his head in a golden crown, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest is ripe, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And that's, again, going into the judgment of the other nations, man. Okay? When the Lord comes back with his spaceships, his chariots, his vehicles, celestial vehicles. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in the sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. Okay, let me see this word for reaped. Derizo. It says cut off, destroy. Okay? Hey, judgment. Judgment. It says, as crops are cut down with the sickle, is figuratively used for to destroy, cut off. And this ain't going to be figurative at all. Okay, it says, with the addition to remove the wicked inhabitants of the earth and deliver them up to destruction. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Point blank, period. They're going to be delivered up to destruction. Okay, and it says, and another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven. Also, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. Okay, so it's an angel. So they like say Satan got the fire and all that shit. It says the angel has power over fire, not Satan. Okay, and even though Satan is an angel of the Lord, but on the left hand side. And it says but he's the prince of the power of the air. And it says, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress, Isaiah 63, of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,006 forelorns. Let me see if they got the illustration of this. $200 miles, god damn. Yeah, this is Isaiah 63. And we just read that. Revelation 19. Oh, yeah. Revelation 19 and 11. It says, and I saw heaven open. You know, the Lord cracked the skies open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. It says the coming of Yahweh Shah is going to be in a chariot. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he that had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. It's talking about Yahushua. And the armies which are heaven followed him upon white horses. Okay, these gonna be, what's that scene? Independence. I ain't gotta type it correctly, but it's that beginning scene. But here's right here, man. Cinematic flashback. Okay, you see that it's covered in a cloud, and the chariot is basically coming out of that cloud. Look at that. That's what it's referring to. Can you imagine that? You see a big ass cloud, and out of that cloud comes out a chariot, a spaceship. They gave you the biblical illustration right there, man. The ominous depiction of the Lord's coming, man. But this is other. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, man. It says, don't make plans for August. And you see the darkness, the shadow. Man. It was like this. Where is that? And then you see they doing no damage whatsoever. This is the war in heaven, okay? Where it talks about that in Revelation 7, Revelation 12. That damn scene, man. I think it's this scene right here. But yeah, this scene right here, it was literally like a couple of seconds, man. Yeah, here we go. Yep. They know, man. They know. Alright, so I'm and it says, and the armies which were in heaven follow him upon white horses. They were in celestial vehicles as well, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. Okay, those are the laser beams. And he shall rule them, see, This is the Lord's kingdom. Is his return, man. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. This is after they are defeated. The armies of the other nations are defeated. And that's the last thing. Like once you defeated the armies, man, that's it. They ain't gonna have this. That's why it says World War III is gonna be the last war, because after that they going into slavery. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power. No, and it goes on and on and on, right? So all right, I'm gonna finally play this video. You got the chariot right there, the angel.
This is when it's zoomed out.
Chilling.
You can still see it traveling.
It's
The
traveling.
number of whistleblowers, specifically military pilots, that the reason for not coming forward publicly is out of fear that speaking out would cost them their flight status and potentially their careers. This is unacceptable. We cannot protect our airspaces if our best trained observers are silenced. We cannot advance science if we refuse to ask questions. And we cannot maintain trust in government if we keep the American people in the dark.
I'm here today because the American people have both the right and the responsibility to know the truth about unidentified aerial phenomenon. That truth remains hidden, classified and silenced by fear, retaliation, stigma, and confusion. Today, we are here to help break that silence. Between 2003 and 2005, 5 UAP incidents occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base, home to the National Missile Defense Project, a top national security priority. At the time, we were conducting launches deemed by the National Reconnaissance Office as the most important in 25 years. These were historic launches. These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. The incursions began on October 14, 2003, when Boeing contractors reported a massive glowing red square silently hovering over 2 missile defense sites. After several minutes, it drifted further east onto the base and vanished over the hills. This event, now known as the Vandenberg Red Square, was referenced by Representative Luna at the first hearing on this topic. Official Air Force records of this event are in possession by Aero and the FBI. Later that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean.
What? A what?
I responded to the
A
incident.
what?
Later
what?
that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object.
A bright, fast moving object. Okay? Bright, the brightness of his coming.
Over the ocean.
And you seen the luminescence, how bright the chariot was.
The incident. Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here." Moments later, I heard them say that it had shot off and was gone. About a week later, another patrol reported a light over the ocean, behaving erratically. Believing it might be an unannounced aircraft, they declared an emergency, and an armed response force responded.
So the angels, they can't wait. They can't wait,
Forces
man.
could arrive.
They cannot
Object
wait.
Descended and either landed or hovered on our flight line, and then took off again at impossible speed. The witnesses to this event were threatened and intimidated afterward. They were told to keep quiet and think about what they were reporting. After that, things did get quiet until about 2005, when another patrol reported a massive triangular craft larger than a C-130 silently floating over the installation. He watched it for a few minutes, it traveled west and disappeared into the night. And then I had my own encounter, again in 2005. I was off duty, sitting in my backyard with 2 other police officers, when we noticed what first appeared to be a satellite in orbit, but it wasn't acting like a satellite. The light was strange, it was pulsing, and then it started to maneuver. It dropped in elevation, at times it would vanish from view and reappear in a different location in the sky, and eventually it reappeared 200 feet over my house as a 30-foot diameter sphere of light. My friends and I watched it for a moment, and then it gently accelerated and traveled up and disappeared into the stars.
Yo, that's crazy.
My life and the lives of my friends.
Yo.
We stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question is no longer whether these events are real,
Chief Wiggins.
but whether we have the courage to face them.
What'd he say?
These events profoundly changed my life and the lives of my friends. We stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question is no longer whether these events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them.
Whether we have the courage to face them. What comes to mind? And that was a spirit. I just clicked on it. What comes to mind? 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And I'm going to go to the point. Verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Okay? What is that? Revelation 1. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. Okay? And it says they were underneath him because he's in outer space. It says all things trembled that were seen under him, or they were afraid. They, like the scriptures here says, they wailed. They were in complete fear. To beat one's breast for grief. They were grieved, man. They were mourning. Deep sorrow. They were in complete fear. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, those laser beams, man. Zzz, the zappers. All they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, which are the World War III, the armies of the other nations over there in the Middle East, to subdue the man that came out of the sea, meaning the sky, okay, out of space, the heavens. But I beheld, and lo, he have graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So this is he's seen a chariot that looked like a damn mountain. This is a huge, gigantic chariot, man. Okay? And it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, overcome, or fight, were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Okay? They were sore afraid. They like they're stuck in their headlights. They couldn't believe their eyes, man. But the Lord had to put the spirit on them to fight. And it's going to be complete eradication. Okay? And it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. That's the weaponry, man. The laser beams, man. The mouth, a blast of fire. The lips, flaming breath. The tongue, sparks and tempests. And there's so many scriptures on the chariots is insane. And because I got something in mind, I think Jeremiah 4. Oh yeah, let me get this one out. This is Jeremiah 4 and 7. It says the lion is come up from his thicket. The lion is Yahushua. His thicket is basically the spirit world where he's sitting on the right hand side of the Father. And the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. Okay? Through interstellar, intergalactic travel. Okay? He is going forth from his place to make thy land desolate. Okay? Edom. Okay? And thy city shall be laid waste without inhabitant. Let's get that again. You know? It's talking about multiple events. Ezekiel 35 and 3. And it says, and saying to it, thus saith Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. That's what it's referring to. To make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without inhabitant. Okay? The destroyer of the Gentiles. Psh. Man, it's like a scripture of the Lord. He just threw that in there. There's another scripture that I just had in mind. Shit. Oh yeah, Jeremiah 49. Prophecy against Edom. You see this word calamity. Calamity of Esau. Day disaster of the wicked. Okay, that's Esau. Day of calamity, destruction, misfortune, ruin. Prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment. This is going to be just or control. I'm going to go down to the point. This is I'm go here first. Verse 13, it says, for I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. That's America. Okay, Babylon the Great, Egypt, Rome, okay, aka America. We'll go down. It says, verse 17, also Edom, and Edom, you know, represents the eagle. Okay, his animalistic symbol is always the eagle. Okay, all the Edomites use the eagle as their symbol. And it says, also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. And that's the missiles and the Lord, okay, at the same damn time. It says, going back to 2 Ezra 13, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the, like the scriptures say, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. Okay? And fell with violence upon the multitude, the armies. This is real quick, man. Isaiah 34:1, God's wrath against the nations. It says, I'm going to go to the point. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. So, okay, so that's the multitude. He have utterly destroyed them. Okay, that's what's going to happen. He have delivered them to the slaughter. And it's like Isaiah 14 says, prepare slaughter for his children. Okay? We got to wait upon the Lord. Okay, that man, please, man, that bugged out nigga, he going, it's a public mention is coming back, man. He probably going to be the first televised Negro to be lynched. Okay? In 2025. This is the Lord's time right here, man. This is the day of the Lord's vengeance. Okay? And it says their stink also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood. Okay? And this goes into the missiles. And it shall come down upon Idumea, and the people of my curse to judgment. It's already 4 a.m. I don't know, it was 2 hours. All right, going back over here. And it says, which was prepared to fight and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Okay? So it's the vision of World War III in the near future, very near future, man. Okay, when Yahweh Shah makes his return, man. All right, so let's go back to the video.
On the evening of February 15th.
It's a Jake, Alexandro Wiggins, U.S. Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer.
B-23 at approximately 19:15 PST in the Whiskey 291 warning area off the coast of Southern California.
This is Jake that seen him.
I was serving on board USS Jackson, a self-luminous tic-tac-shaped object
A
emerged
self-luminous.
from the ocean before linking up with 3 other similar objects. The fourth
And then it said from the sea. Okay, which you know that's to be the sky. And in these chariots, they can go underwater.
simultaneously.
It was a man. If I can find that damn video, it was clear as day. A chariot, you know, basically it was being chased by I forgot, the jet fighters or whatever, and then it went down into the waters to escape. Even though it ain't really had to escape, but it was just getting away from the jet fighters.
A high synchronized near instantaneous acceleration.
Near instantaneous acceleration.
No sonic boom and no conventional propulsion signatures. No exhaust plume, no control surface articulation on the Sapphire image system. Shortly after the synchronized departure, radar tracks dropped. From my experience operating in this region over many years, and consistent with our public characterized encounters, unidentified
And they look freaked the fuck out, man. They look, scared out of their mind, terrified out of their mind.
reoccur in United States operation public characterized encounters. Unidentified objects reoccur in United States operation areas off Southern California. That fact alone does not tell us what they are. but it does argue the systematic stigma-free reporting and for the preservation of sensor data so analysts can evaluate safe and intelligence implications with rigor. Reporting without stigma, protection without retribution. Sailors need to know that reporting UAP encounters will not harm their careers.
From 2011 to 2013, I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, conducting 24-hour operations via manned and unmanned aerial vehicles for Special Operations Forces and the Global War on Terror. During the summer of 2012, my team was on standby for weather, and I returned to my barracks on base, and at approximately 0130, I saw an approximately 100-foot equilateral triangle take off from near the NASA hangar on the base. The craft interfered with my telephone, did not have any sound, and the material it was made of appeared fluid or dynamic. I was under this triangular craft for a few minutes, and then it rapidly ascended to commercial jet level in seconds, displaying zero kinetic disturbance, sound, or wind displacement. Some years after that experience, I was further exposed to classified information from the UAP Legacy Crash Retrieval Program through a sensitive position I held within a special access program. During this time, intelligence officers approached me in fear for their own careers, citing misconduct within these programs and similar retaliation that I was already enduring at this time.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th, 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see
This is Yemen.
that another MQ-9 launched a HellFire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so
Okay, that's why I was like wondering, like, how the hell did it shoot like that? And they call it the Reaper drone. Yo, man. Esau, man, it's technology. Jake don't got this shit, man.
I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. You cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it's zoomed out. You can still see it traveling.
Yup. Traveling. Did you hear the word traveling? Traveling in the greatness of his strength, man. Now I gotta look at the word traveling. Like, come on, man. Traveling in the greatness of his strength, man. And again, this that is glorious in thy apparel. Look at that movie Nope. Look at that. Okay. Then is white. All right. Okay. Where was that? Traveling in the greatness of his strength. Let me just do it like this. Traveling. And they keep, using that word, man. Continuously using that word. Over and over, traveling.
That's a HellFire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
So again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information? Looks like the debris was. This is when it's zoomed out.
Nigga. Yo, that is crazy, yo. And it said it looked like the debris. You see the debris? He said, what the hell is that?
This is when it's zoomed out. You can still see it traveling.
And you see the brightness, how bright it is.
That's a HellFire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
So again, I'm not going to speculate.
The wicked
what it
shall
is,
not
but
understand.
The question is, why are we being blocked from this information consistently?
All right, that's it. All right, so with that, man, hopefully this is edifying. Till next time, I say shalom.